Hey authors, my name is Mrs. Lanning and I'm so excited to welcome you back here to Writer's Workshop. So, friends, I have some crazy news to tell you, and you're going to think that this is not true, but I promise you it's the truth. Did you know that there are people in this world whose job it is to play video games or watch new movies or try new restaurants? That's right, it's literally their job. There are people who get paid to have dinner in different restaurants, to try different video games, to watch new movies, or read the newest books. They're literally paid to do it. So these people are called reviewers. Their job is to try these different things, but then they're expected to write and share about their opinions of the experience. So, for example, someone might say, hey, I want you to try this new video game. And they try it for free. They get paid to try it, but what they're really getting paid for is they still have to then share with the world what they thought of the video game. So none of these types of ideas like video games or restaurants or toys or movies, those aren't things that fit into a small collection. These writers actually have to go play the game, or they have to go try the new restaurant, or they have to go watch the new movie to decide if they really loved something and why, or they decided that they didn't like it and why. And what they do is after that experience, they write reviews and share with other people to get them and convince them to go try that thing or maybe to stay away from that thing. Maybe it was a video game they loved, so they want to convince people that they need to go play it too. Or maybe they thought, that was boring, that was not worth it. And so they're trying to convince people to stay away from it and not buy that one because they didn't like it. So this is the type of writing that we're now going to start working on for the rest of our unit. You will be review writers. You writers already know a lot about this type of writing. You already know how to state your opinion and to give reasons to support your opinion. But what makes review writing so different is that not only do review writers have to share their opinion, they want to persuade others to have the same opinion. So they need people that they've never even met before to trust their judgment and follow their lead. In fact, I bet you there's some people that you already watch on YouTube who review toys or who review games, and maybe you've never met them in your entire life, but you trust what they say about a game. Or if they share a toy and they say it's great, you think, oh, I want to try it too. Guess what? They've done review writing. I promise you, all those YouTube stars, they write out their script before they get on and they share it. They're writing their reviews and they're sharing. And they want to get people to trust them as they share their opinion and think like them. So, just like reviewers write all around the world, you can choose to write about the things that you know and you love. Games, movies, toys, restaurants, places to visit. I want you to think about those things, and I want you to give me a thumbs up when you've got an idea for your first review. What's something you love and you want to convince other people to love too? Is it going to a water park? Is it watching the movie Finding Nemo? Is it eating at McDonald's? What do you want to review and convince other people to think the way you do? Today and this week, I will help you learn to write reviews on those topics that are especially convincing. We want to persuade people to think like we do. In fact, I have a couple of reviews right here that I found on the internet last night. I was on the computer searching for the perfect gift for my nephew, and it was really hard to decide what to get him. Sometimes online shopping can be tricky, but luckily for me, there were reviews written by real-life people to help me decide. So let's study these reviews together to learn ways that we can be more convincing so that readers can follow our lead and think like us. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. And today we're going to investigate, just like detectives, to find some answers on this big question. What important part do writers make sure to include in their writing to make their reviews so convincing? And then we can ask ourselves, how can we do this in our review writing? So writers, first I'm going to read you a review from a game called Rush Hour Traffic Jam. And when you hear a part that makes you think, ooh, I want to write that well, or ooh, that was a really convincing point, I want you to tap your nose. So let me read you the review. Beep, beep. Vroom! It's a traffic jam, and the little red car can't move. It's your job to get the little red car moving. I think Rush Hour Traffic Jam is the best puzzle game. It is like a maze, but much more fun because you can choose from different levels to keep you thinking. There are 4 levels of difficulty. The box has easy to follow directions, and inside you will find 40 challenge cards with the solutions printed on the back, just in case. You'll need to set up the cars and buses in a pattern on the road grid. Then, your job is to move the vehicles one by one until the red car can escape. Guess what? If you don't have someone to play with, you can play this game alone. One time, I was waiting for my brother to finish his homework, and this game kept me busy for 2 hours. Rush Hour Traffic Jam won a national award from Mensa and is also a Parent's Choice recommended toy. I give it 2 big thumbs up. Wow, I saw lots of friends tapping their nose. Did you notice that they used something like saying giving 2 thumbs up? Sometimes we see people say that, or maybe they give stars to rate something. They also gave us a little bit of a preview of what the game was like and what happened. So I was thinking, ooh, this might be something good to get for my nephew. This review convinced me. Now, next, I want to read you a review of what I saw for the DVD movie called The Incredibles. Because remember, I was looking for a gift for my nephew, and online shopping is hard. So I didn't know what to do. So I'm reading the reviews that people wrote, that they typed up to see, ooh, is this something I should get? And guess what, y'all? They convinced me. So let me read you the review that someone wrote for the DVD for The Incredibles. Do you like reading comic books? Do you love Batman or Spider-Man or Wonder Woman? Do you ever wish you had superpowers? If you do, then you need to go see the Incredibles movie right now. Everything you love about superheroes is in this movie. This movie is about a whole family of superheroes, except they act and sort of look like a normal family. Mr. Incredible used to be one of the toughest superheroes, but now he works in a boring office. His wife, Helen, has also given up her superhero outfit, and now she uses her special powers to be a mom. Their son, Dash, uses his super speed to be great at sports. Violet, who has the ability to turn invisible and enclose herself inside a force field, acts like any normal teenager. The baby, Jack doesn't seem to have any superpowers at all. At least not yet. The evil villain, Syndrome, starts up the action, and the Incredibles are back in superhero mode in no time. You will love The Incredibles. This movie is non-stop fun. Last time I watched this movie, I laughed so hard my belly hurt. I recommend this movie for superhero fans of all ages. I give it 5 stars. Y'all, I read these reviews and I thought, I know exactly what I'm going to get my nephew. And you know what? The reviews convinced me. I got him the Rush Hour game because of that one review. It gave me a preview of what the game was going to look like. And then The Incredibles, it asked exciting questions like, do you love to watch Batman? Do you love superheroes? And you know what? My nephew does. And it was really exciting. He told me he gave it 5 stars. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to get him The Incredibles movie too. These writers sure did a lot to make sure that their reviews were convincing. And you know what? They convinced me. I went ahead and I bought those products. So now I want for you to discuss a huge question. What makes these reviews so convincing? Ooh, I heard some great things. And so writers, I want us to make a list of some of the things that these review writers did so that we can try it in our own review writing. Because remember, this writing is a little bit different because we're not just stating our opinion and giving reasons why, we're also trying to persuade people to think like us. So let's see what they did. And so when we go to write our own reviews, remember, we're not going to write reviews about the Rush Hour game or The Incredibles. We're going to write about something else. You want to use those strategies though, just like we've learned in other units. So I noticed they gave a sneak peek. For example, when they described that Rush Hour game, they kind of gave us a sneak peek of what the rules are, of what the objective of the game is and how it works. They also taught important information, what, where, and when. And they told a little story. For example, when they told us for The Incredibles that they watched the movie and they laughed so hard their belly hurt. They kind of give us a little bit of a story. And also you can use comparisons. For example, they talked about if you love to read comic books, you'll love to watch the movie Incredibles, using those comparisons to get people excited. And they also included some helpful tips. They explained in that Rush Hour game how you could play the game by yourself or with people. And they made recommendations. For example, in the Incredibles review, they said, if you love superheroes, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're a kid or if you're an adult or if you're a teenager, guess what? If you love superheroes, you're going to love this movie. And they also were friendly. They said, please be sure to watch this. Thanks for reading my review. And they added a rating. A rating is something like when we say 5 stars or 2 thumbs up. They gave us that rating. So, boys and girls, review writers, it is time for us to get started. Remember, when you write reviews, you're going to use all that you already know about opinion writing, stating your opinion, and making sure to supply reasons. Then some of you will also be ready to do the grown-up work that reviewers do to try to convince people to think like they do. And I want to give you a little preview of one of my friends and what he already wrote. So he wrote, go to Mr. Cupcakes because it will be your new favorite place to go for cupcake treats. Mr. Cupcake is easy to get to because you can walk there after school. It is so good at that shop because there are different cupcakes and different flavors. Some cakes are with frosting and some are without frosting. There are flavors like PB&J. That means peanut butter and jelly cupcake with strawberry frosting. And there are flavors like Snowball, which is coconut frosting, and chocolate cake cupcake. So y'all, my friend here, he already was using his strategies to share with us about cupcakes in this particular cupcake store. I'm already hungry and I'm thinking I want to walk to this Mr. Cupcake store. So writers, I want you to think about what you would like to review. What's something that you love to do or something that you like to try and that you want other people to think like you do? You want them to go try that food. You want them to go play that game. You want them to go buy that movie or book. Think about it. And I want you to write your reviews. It's your turn, friends. Writers, go write.